And good evening, everyone. Here's your Flagler weather update. This is May 18th, 2025, and at 8:55 p.m. So thank you for joining us. Let's go ahead and get into some history here. So yesterday was the 40th anniversary of the Black Friday wildfires. This was a very significant altering event for Flagler County. And I'm just giving you kind of an overview of where the fires burned in relations to today's Flagler County. So the first fire started about 12:30 in the afternoon down here south of Bunnell, and it was a very dry, windy day. The winds were blowing up, gusting up to 40 to 50 miles an hour, and nice bright sunshine. It wasn't a storm or anything; it was just real windy. And so the first fire started here about 12:30 in the afternoon. Keep in mind that back then it was all volunteer fire departments, so we don't have all the equipment we have today. This fire ripped off to the west, jumped over US 1 near DuPont, and then went through southern Seminole Woods, but there was no houses there then, fortunately. Then it jumped across I-95, and it burned further into northern Volusia County, and then it jumped and burned right to the ocean. Now, while this fire was right about here, this other fire started up to the to the east of the Florida East Coast Railway and north of Dorena Grade. And this fire raged, actually, no, I'm sorry, this to the west of the Florida East Coast Railway, and this fire raged across the FEC and then went across US 1 and burned right through this heart of developing Palm Coast. So Whiteview Parkway right about here, and about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it jumped across US 1. There was no warning for anyone living here. These folks literally ran for their lives, and this fire ripped across central parts of western Palm Coast, jumped I-95 just south of the Woodlands, then it burned into Graham Swamp, and unfortunately it got bogged down there. So back then in 1985, there was no cell phones. There was none of that stuff. So when this fire here, the one that started at 12:30 in the afternoon, when it got to US 1 at it was about 1:30 at that point, it cut the main phone lines. And so all long distance telephone service in Flagler County was disrupted, and then local telephone service was severely crippled. And again, when it was all done, there was 131 homes completely destroyed, most of them over here. And again, this area was not as populated as it is today. So it was lots of wooded areas and a few houses clustered here and there. There was 131 homes completely destroyed and 200 homes that were damaged. And again, this was a very significant event in Flagler County 40 years ago. And because of this event, the county went ahead and put in an emergency operations center. Back then, there was no radios in any of the school buses, so they installed radios, two-way radios in the school buses. Our organization, Flagler County Assist, set up a very primitive CB radio network to help relay information during this fire. So let's move on and talk about weather now. It is not hurricane season yet, but the outlooks are starting. There's no tropical development expected next 7 days. That's good news. And looking at the forecast quickly here, looks like we're going to stay hot and mostly clear skies with highs near 95, lows near 70 as we go into the middle part of the week. We're going to see a slight chance of a shower or a thunderstorm after that point, and temperatures actually dropping just a little bit. Still rather hot, though, but maybe some cooler air getting into the picture after Thursday. So that's a quick look at the forecast. So just a reminder, whether it's wildfires or severe weather, the way to get notified is by signing up for Alert Flagler. It is completely free to do that. It'll call you if there's a weather warning or any other emergency that's issued for your area. So let's talk weather right now. This is not the storm system to hit Kentucky. This is the next one that's coming that way. They're going to have another round of severe weather through the mid-south that's going to threaten Missouri, southern Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, those areas. However, high pressure stays in the south, keeping us hot and settled. Now, this front here might try to reach us by the end of the week, and that's going to give us a very slight chance of a shower or a thunderstorm when we get to Thursday. So Monday through Wednesday, morning fog will be possible at times. it'll be quite hot. High temperatures, mid 90s. Now, at the beaches, you're going to see a high temperature right up near 90 degrees there, maybe lower 90s east of I-95, and then generally from Palm Coast, from I-95 westward, mid, maybe even some upper 90s. Largely sunny, but there could be some puffy clouds that blow through. Temperatures at night bottoming out to near 70 degrees countywide, maybe mid 70s beaches because the ocean is warming up. Now, as we go Saturday, bad graphic. This should be Thursday only. So ignore this. But Thursday, slight chance of a shower or a thunderstorm. Not as hot. High temperatures near 90. Lows 65, 70 at the beaches or so. Again, ignore this Saturday, Sunday. This is meant to be Thursday. So even going further on, going into the next weekend, which is Memorial Day weekend, how things are looking here. So right now we can expect an average of above normal temperatures here in Flagler County and above normal precipitation chances as well. Doesn't mean it's going to rain the entire time. Just means there's a better chance of a shower or a thunderstorm. Now, longer range forecasts look for generally above normal temperatures. This takes us into the beginning part of June and above normal precipitation. Could that be a signal that the rainy season is going to start kicking in? Well, we need it, and I'll show you why here in just a minute. Even the long range, taking us into the middle part of June, above normal precipitation across the state of Florida. Hopefully that rainy season is starting to kick in, but it's still staying rather warm. Now, wildfires. Remember, we were just talking about the 40th anniversary of the 1985 Black Friday wildfire. We were talking about that, and I was here for that. And if you missed that, you can rewind this video and see what we said about it. But right now, the only one we got going on in the county right now is this contained fire. 250 acres is the one that burned a few weeks ago, and Florida Forest Service continues to monitor it, but it is fully contained, no threat or concern, but they will continue to check that. So, what's our wildfire outlook? Well, we are not off the hook with wildfires. Anyway, we did get some rain the other day, last week, that got us about 5 inches of rain in some places, but still, we are still not off the hook. So this is the wildfire outlook from the National Fire Interagency Center, and this is issued once monthly, and in the month of June, we are still looking at above normal risk for significant wildfires. Does that mean that everyone in this red area is going to get wildfires? It means that some big ones will still be possible anywhere in this area, including Flagler County. Now, fire danger. Let's talk about that. So that rainfall helped us out, but now things are starting to dry out again pretty quickly. So our drought index is up to 375, meaning it's climbing pretty rapidly. Remember, when we get over 500, it's typically when those burn bans come into place. That's up to county government to issue, but that's usually when it happens, and we're rapidly starting to climb back up again. If you remember my last broadcast, there was a lot of blue over Flagler County, and I was starting to see some yellow starting to pop up. So unless we get some good rain, we're going to be drying out here pretty quickly, and it's very easy to dry out because this time of year, the sun is higher up in the sky, and it's much more efficient at drying things out, drying out the soil, drying out vegetation. So let's talk about beaches now. Surf running about 2 feet or so, maybe some days with bigger waves. Surf temperature, not bad, 78 degrees. Feels refreshing to get into that, but that surf temperature is continuing to climb. Low to moderate rip current risk out there. UV index very high. I bet some days it'll probably be extreme. So that's going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook. Well, you're on Facebook right now. We also have a TikTok presence. We generally only post there if anything big's happening, but you can like us on TikTok, follow us on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on X, and we also post our videos on YouTube as well. Of course, latest updates, you can go to weather.gov/Jax. And of course, if you missed any part of this video, you can rewind it and watch it at any time. And we'll be posting a YouTube link later. Our next update will be Wednesday evening. Everybody out there have a great rest of the week.